All right, tapestry weavers. So here's another fun tip or trick when you're doing your weaving, if you want something a little extra. I can show you how to do half of it one color and the other half another color for a little bit of my sections here. So let's say I wanted some white on this side and some orangish red over here. I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so first, and remember this is totally optional, you don't have to do this. First I look at what I did last. I went under the warp thread. So now I'm gonna go over, under, okay, to where I want it to end. I think right about here. And I'm gonna pull it through. Okay. Got caught on my lanyard, there we go. Then I'm gonna pull it through carefully. Not gonna pull too tight, push it down. Now, I look what I did last. I went over, so now I go under. So instead of going all the way to the edge here, I'm actually just going to where I want the white thread to end. I'm not doing it tight because when I do my next color, it's gonna kind of loop through that same string, okay? So now what did I do last here? I went under the warp thread, so now I have to go over and pull it through. Okay, letting it run through my fingers there so it doesn't get tangled. And don't pull too tight and push it down. Okay. Now I go back over here. And I went over last, so now I'm gonna go under. Under, over, pull it through. Okay. And then push it down. Not too tight. You can see I'm starting to get half here. And then we'll see how to do some on the other side. All right, I'll show you what that looks like in a more completed tapestry. Okay, so kind of like this here, where you can see I've got half one color, half the other. That's what I'm planning on doing with this one. Later in another video, we'll see how to do these little frills. They're kind of fun if you want to do that. All right, that's just another option. All right, okay. All right, so now I've ended on this side. I think that is a little bit easier. So I'm gonna cut where I want it to go. I'm just gonna do a tiny little knot there, so that way it doesn't come undone on me while I'm doing the other side. Now I can go ahead and jump to this side. I can undo my extra yarn here, roll it up, save it for later, especially for some of those fun tassels. That would be good. So I undo that slip knot there. I'm just gonna carefully, there's a little slower there, wrap this around like that, and then, there we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start this one. I don't need quite as much string as I had on there. Okay, here we go. So now I'm gonna thread it through the eye of the needle. Here's a review on how to do knots, just in case you forgot. Loop, under, pull, tight, like that. And that one will be easy to undo too. So let's look at what I did last here. The last thing I did for the warp thread is I went over. Yeah, so now I need to start under, over, under, over. And now when I get to here, I'm actually gonna lift up like that and pull it through. Okay, there we go. There, it's doing its own thing. And now we're gonna go like that. And I'm gonna leave a little tail here, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Okie dokie, so now let's move that out of the way. So I went over or under last. So I'm gonna go here. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, I went under last. So I do wanna go under here. Yep, under, over. It took my brain a second to think about it as I was doing this different technique. There we go. I'm gonna pull it tight and push it down. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna go, we went over here, so now we're gonna go under, over, over, and kind of use my needle to kind of sort through that here. There we go. And pull it through. There we go. And let's get rid of that. There's the tail. I don't want to pull too tight, so just shimmy it back out, push it down. Okay, what did I do last here? I went under, so now I need to go over. So that way it looks like that kind of checkerboard crisscross pattern, where eventually I'm not gonna see the warp thread. And then we're gonna push it down. There we go. Okay, and so here's what we can do with this little string. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse and do a little bit more. Well, I might just show one more here just for fun, just for kicks and giggles. Okay, so we went over, so now we're gonna go under, over, over. And I'm gonna kind of sort out this one here. Okay. Takes me a little bit of time, so just take your time doing it. Pull it through. And remember, this is an optional thing if you want to have some, you know, different things on your tapestry. This isn't a must-do. This is a choice. Okay. There we go. I like it though. Okay, so now what I can do with this little tail, okay, I have two options. I can kind of weave it through here, or when I'm done, I can weave it through this area too. I'll show you what it looks like if I go down here. I think it might match better to do it the other way because of the red string. I'm just gonna kind of pull it through here though. A little tight with my bigger needle. I do have smaller needles, so if that is a little tricky and you feel like it bunched too much, let's use the smaller ones there. You can kind of reshape right there, okay? And then I can just trim the excess like that, okay? And there we go, looking good. All right, now I'm gonna time lapse and finish up a little bit more on here. We'll catch you later. Bye, Smartest. All right, so now I'm just gonna trim up that little piece right there. And then I can keep going over. This went under, over, under, over. If I wanted to switch colors, I could. I think I just kind of want to keep this one because it's going to turn to orange here pretty soon anyway, from the red to the orange. And then I can just keep weaving. Okay, so if you do want two tones going this way, that's how you do it. All right, it does take a little time and a little patience, but if you like it, then it's worth it. All right, we'll catch you later. Bye, awesome artists.